It's week 18 of the AFL season. With just 2 weeks to go, the Philadelphia Soul are coming off a bye week. The perfect chance for us to regroup and take stock of the Soul's playoff chances. Joining me tonight are Soul General Manager Tom Goodhines and head coach Clint Dolezel for a look back at this season and a look ahead to the final 2 weeks. I'm Rhea Hughes. The Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore, is next. It's the little details that are vital. Little things make big things happen. It's one of my favorite John Wooden quotes. Sayings were legendary, and he had many. But that is one that has always resonated with me. I find it is generally the smallest of details can trip me up in a big way. Now, in my day job as co-host on the WIP Morning Show, it's my job to book the guests for our show. Seems fairly simple, right? I mean, who isn't dying to come on with Angelo Cataldi? Well, I have learned in my 17 years doing that job on our show, the smallest of details must be addressed when making a request for someone to appear on our show. For example, I now am extremely clear when I'm booking someone. I'd like you to be on the show at 9 a.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. I learned that the hard way when I didn't realize the person I'd booked was in California. The midday show at WIP enjoyed the guests that day when they called at noon. Pay attention to a team in crunch time. It's when a team's true character comes through. Things a coach has players practice over and over. Setting the proper screen, boxing out, holding your block on special teams until the whistle is blown. Knowing how many outs there are in an inning. Running pass routes hundreds of times until a receiver can do it in his sleep. Till it becomes muscle memory. So when the clock is winding down, all of those small details you think the coach is wasting time on practice are rote. Lack of attention to detail actually has a clinical name, believe it or not, inattentional blindness. It refers to the failure to detect an unexpected object or event if attention is diverted to another task or object, even if it's right in front of the person. Think of a point guard who constantly seems to be missing an open teammate, a quarterback who can't see the open receiver. A 500-yard passing game won't matter at all when the game comes down to needing 6 inches. Ask the Soul. They've suffered enough heartbreaking losses this season on the last play of the game. I once watched a Sixers game with former Sixer and coach Fred Carter. He got irritated by a poorly executed play towards the end of the first half. I said to him, "What's the big deal? It's just 2 points." He said, "Sure, Rhea. Get back to me when they lose by 1. All right, I want to welcome in Soul General Manager Tom Goodhines, and I want to talk about those little things. As a general manager, you bring the players in, but as a coach, it never, the Hail Mary play, that was a crazy play. But I know just talking to you, there were little things leading up to those that kind of just drive you crazy.
No, it's one of those things that drives every coach crazy in any sport. You can name the sport, Little League to the NFL, and there's only so much coaching staff can do is from strategy, schemes, putting players in the right places, but at some point it comes to the player and want to.
Yeah.
And I've said that many times on a couple of broadcasts. That player had want to. He wanted to get in the end zone. He had that little extra to get him in. And unfortunately, those players on the other team had that little bit of want to.
There's always that other team that gets in the way. Well, I want to what we're going to do is we got a season highlight package. So we're going to go through it. A lot of ups and downs. Hopefully there'll be more ups by the end of the season. Check it out.
This new year began with a rematch of last year's championship game, this time in Phoenix, and the Soul led the entire way until the final 3 seconds when Nick Davila heaved a prayer that tied the game and sent it to overtime. There, Davila and the Rattlers took the lead, and when Dan Radabal was picked off, the Soul had lost the first of 3 in a row on the road to start a new season. Game 4, also on the road in Orlando, but Radabal was near perfection. 13 straight passes complete in the first half. He only missed 3 all night to stop the losing streak at 3. And it sparked 3 straight wins. The coin was flipped, though, at midseason, as the Soul suffered a series of heartbreakers at the wire. In Cleveland, May 23rd, the Soul had the league leaders beaten but with the ball for one last play. And it's complete. The Soul lose. Then came a key home game against divisional rival Pittsburgh. Leading receiver Ryan McDaniel and 5 other Soul starters lost with injuries. Still, the Soul had the ball and a chance to win. Radaball's pass snared by Vakean Lacey.
Caught! Lacey has it for a Soul touchdown!
Their kicker was hurt, so the Soul was forced to go for 2. And Radaball shocks everyone.
And the handoff, the fake, Radaball rolls it into the end zone! 2-point conversion on the naked, both legs works! It works!
But Pittsburgh milks the remaining clock and calmly chips through another buzzer beater for the win. The very next week, also at the Wells Fargo Center, the Soul once again have Cleveland on the ropes and backed up to their own 3 with 1 play remaining.
The horn sounds, Austin, end zone, and it is gone! Touchdown, Cleveland!
Now at 6-8 and on the road, the Soul rally with their defense led by Teddy Jennings and pummel Iowa. And then they hold Orlando to 7 second-half points to win at home and even their record at 8-8.
All right, Tom, as we watch that highlights package, I watched Tom's face, and it's like reliving the whole season over with you again.
A lot of cheering and then a lot of sad times, but we get through it.
Well, the amazing thing when you think about what the Soul have gone through, you know, with those close losses and you've only had 1 blowout loss to San Jose.
Yeah, and even that game you can almost chalk up just because of the fact of you start off the season, you're on the road at the defending champions where you lose just in overtime, come back to Philly, then go cross country again to San Jose. If you don't think that's a big deal, try it yourself one of these times and not play anything or do anything physical.
So you guys started off 0-3, but you did not have a home game for 5 weeks, right?
Right, we had to throw the bye week in there. You know, we lost the first 3 games, and then we had the bye week, and then came back and actually played Orlando, where we came together as a team. And that's one of the turning points that you can point in the season was that time where we went to Tampa. We lost that game. It wasn't a good loss. It was a last-minute kind of deal for us. But as a team collectively, we stayed in Tampa. We practiced in Tampa, and I think that's where the chemistry for that team started to gel and really came forward and showed in the Orlando game.
All right, he's Tom Goodheitens. He'll be joining us throughout the show as we talk a lot of Soul coming up. And the Soul are back at the Wells Fargo Center on Sunday, July 20th at 4 p.m. It's a must-win game for the Soul, as well as Fan Appreciation Night with a Soul team poster giveaway to the first 3,000, T-shirt giveaway to the first 5,000, and prizes given out all night long, all presented by Parx Casino. Get your tickets now by calling 888-789-SOUL or go to PhiladelphiaSoul.com. More with Tom Goodheitens, and we'll be joined by head coach Clint Dolezel when we return to the Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore.
The Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore, is sponsored by Pro Systems. Pro Systems Audio, one of Philadelphia's finest audio, video, and lighting contracting firms. By Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy. And by the Judge Group and Judge Unified Communications, designing, developing, deploying, and managing advanced technologies for clients across the globe.
Scott, he do a great job for us, whether it be, the steak meat, the lobster, everything is our own brand. It's a testimonial to Foods Galore.
Service is what's made our company. Loyalty, reliability, honesty. Your growth was one of the main reasons why I evolved in the business.
People look at Chicky and Pete's as a success story, but it's actually your success story. It works just like a marriage, because I still have my wife and I still have you.
Which car brand has the most repeat buyers? Hyundai. And which midsize sedan has both more horsepower and interior room? The Sonata. All of which leaves the rest wanting. The value of the Sonata. The power of America's best warranty. Hurry to your Hyundai dealer today and lease the Sonata for only $169 per month. Or get up to $2,500 total savings. Act fast. These limited time offers end July 31st.
What can I get you?
Oh, sorry. I was daydreaming.
Dreaming about your wedding, huh?
Yes, actually.
With a big ice sculpture and a string quartet?
Yeah, how'd you know?
You've got the new instant game from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Yeah. $1 million golden ticket with 5 top prizes of $1 million.
Want to see your dreams come to life? You could scratch your way to instant winning today. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Bring your dreams to life.
We're going to talk a little bit about a couple of different phases of the game: offense, defense, special teams. Let's start with the offense. And it's really amusing how when you talk about Soul offense, one of the first clips we're showing is Derrick Ross rumbling into the end zone. In Arena League, you don't traditionally think of the running back as being key to the offense, but on the Soul it is.
Well, he's a weapon that no other team has in the league. He has the ability to get outside, his physicalness and his size. When you get those defensive backs trying to grab onto somebody and bring them down, Derrick's a load to try to tackle.
A little bit hard. We see Dan Rodabaugh, the quarterback. I want to ask Clint when we bring him in a little bit about how many designed run plays they have for Dan Rodabaugh, because you don't see him run that often.
He doesn't run a lot, but he has been consistent. If you look at his numbers, comparing it to the previous seasons, they might not be as gaudy, but if you look at the completion percentage, Dan is still there in his numbers, and that's a key thing for the offense is consistency out of your quarterback.
And White, the one-handed grabs, I mean, he's a highlight reel.
Well, he's a good mix to bring in with Tiger Jones. Tiger is obviously the man in the system, but when you bring in another guy, a playmaker, it really makes things happen.
And the loss, we just saw Ryan McDaniel. The loss of Ryan McDaniel to this offense was really, critical.
Well, he's an athlete, and he's one of our own that we found in the trial camps,
which is amazing.
It's
the
something to
numbers
bring
he
in,
put
but
up.
you got to give a lot of credit to Clint to calling those right plays and making things happen.
Well, perfect segue. Let's bring in the head coach, Clint Dolezal. Clint, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
All right, and that was one of the things, as a former quarterback, a guy who's in the Arena Hall of Fame, you have a running back who is just so huge to your game. What does it mean to you to have a Derrick Ross on your team?
I guess the key word there is running back. He is a true running back, which he doesn't look like a true running back being 280 pounds, but that's his position. He played in college. That's a position we got him when we got him from the Chiefs when I had him in San Angelo. So that's the key from a lot of those other bigger guys. They're just offensive linemen pretending to be running backs, where Derrick's a great running back. So yeah, he's a luxury that no one else has. I can feed him the ball inside the 5 and give him the ball on our own 5, and he can go the distance. So he's definitely a comfort zone for me.
Well, we talk about you and your Hall of Fame career, 931 touchdowns. How about that relationship between you and Dan and how that's translated and how his play this year has been reflected of some consistency for him?
It takes a special person to play underneath me. Having played the position, I feel like I know exactly what's going on out there on the field on both sides of the ball, and I see things happen a little before he does. Just the simple fact I've played it a long time and I've been coaching for a long time, so my frustration gets built up at times. But Dan's done a great job for us. I mean, you look at our stats, and you're right, they're not gaudy for him, but he's taking care of the football for the most part. We're getting, I think we're second league in scoring, so he's doing his part. He has his bad plays just like everybody does at times, but overall he's done well for us.
All right, Tom, let's take a look now at the defense. And this is a very fast, opportunistic defense. As you see there, the fumble recovery by James Romaine. They're so fast when you watch them.
I think if that's the one thing that you'll notice from years past is the speed in that secondary, that James Romaine is an athlete, not only on the defensive side of the ball, but on the special teams and his ability to make plays. But the play of Teddy Jennings,
the progression of it,
he's
been
been
amazing.
Really a good find for us, and actually a guy that we wanted in last year in his progression, and the guy that needed to step up and fill that void, and he's really taken the bull by the horns.
One of the things I like about watching this defense is, growing up here in Philadelphia, reminds me a little bit of Buddy Ryan's defense. They love to lateral the ball when they, an interception or, a fumble. It's kind of fun to watch.
I know it puts Clint on the edge of his seat, but I know one thing that they do is they try to make plays, and you got to be smart with the football, and that's the number one thing that they preach.
All right, Clint, I hear you moaning over there. Does it drive you crazy when they start getting, when they do get, an interception or a fumble, that they get a little fancy with it?
There's a time and place for that, and knowing the situation and when those things happen, then they do a good job of taking care of the football. That's what we preach all the time. No matter what, let's make sure we have the ball at the end of the play, whether it's offense, defense, special teams. Let's make sure we end up with it. So, yeah, our defense all year long is, it's been a little bit sluggish at times, but for the most part, our pass rush makes us go. Our secondary is quick. We do make a lot of plays back there. But it's been, a lot of our pressure, and a big part of that you mentioned is Teddy Jennings. He's done a great job as a rookie and coming in and putting pressure on the quarterback and getting sacks.
Clint, can you talk a little bit about your defense, kind of how it's grown from the beginning of the year to now? Because in a lot of your big wins and even your close wins, defense has been a critical part of it.
Well, it has, and it's been a slow process just for the simple fact we've had so many injuries. I think we've got 4 or 5 guys that are out there playing right now that weren't, starting for us beginning of the season. So that's a credit to, our whole staff as far as getting the right people in here, getting good backup players as well, and finding some pieces in there. And again, I think it's all about the pressure. And you can only cover so long in the secondary, and if you can get some pressure in there and you get a good mix of coverage in there along with it, I think that's why we've done well over the last couple of weeks and into the past month. So it's crucial.
All right, let's take a look at the special teams now. Some great special teams plays. I know in some games special teams has just been a heartbreaker, but we've got a couple of returns here. Stevenson is a lot of fun to watch.
Well, he's not known for his speed, but he is a playmaker. He's a guy
he hits it and hits the hole and doesn't get taken down. It keeps going.
It was nice to see him give us the jump start that last game against Orlando, but his play on special teams, stripping footballs, getting in there, making big hits, he's a key guy and seems to be around the football anytime on special teams.
Clint, you're special. I mean, as being an offensive coach, how much are you involved with the special teams?
Not as much as I have been in the past. Coach Miller's done a great job for us. It's pretty much all his. I have a little bit of say in it, so does Bogle. But over the past month and a half, Coach Miller's really done a great job of getting our guys to take ownership in it. That's all when it comes down to. Special teams is pure effort.
Okay, and when we return, we will take a look at the big wins that the Soul have had this year and the losses. Don't forget the Soul are back at the Wells Fargo Center on Sunday, July 20th at 4 p.m. It is a must-win game for the Soul, as well as Fan Appreciation Night, with a Soul team poster giveaway to the first 3,000, T-shirt giveaway to the first 5,000, and prizes given out all night long, all presented by Parks Casino. Get your family 4-pack now. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, 4 popcorns, for as low as $68. Call 888-789-SOUL or go to PhiladelphiaSoul.com. More with Tom Goodhines and Clint Dolzell when we return to the Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore.
How can the Judge Group help your business? By providing you with effective business technology solutions. By recruiting the finest personnel to meet your unique business needs. By providing corporate training, learning, and performance support solutions. And unified communications, voice and video system design and engineering. With over 30 offices in the U.S., Canada, and Asia, the Judge Group, a global leader in professional services since 1970.
No one else can do what Colonial Marble and Granite can do. We've revolutionized the way you buy your granite countertops. Colonial Marble and Granite, the nation's leading granite countertop fabricator. Visit our King of Prussia showroom today and see how easy, beautiful, and affordable your countertops can be. Professional, courteous service, unbeatable prices, just $19.99 installed. No one else can beat Colonial Marble and Granite. Visit us online at colonialmarble.net.
Which car brand has the most repeat buyers? Hyundai. And which midsize sedan has both more horsepower and interior room? The Sonata. All of which leaves the rest wanting. The value of the Sonata. The power of America's best warranty. Hurry to your Hyundai dealer today and lease the Sonata for only $169 per month. Or get up to $2,500 total savings. Act fast. These limited time offers end July 31st.
Hi, I'm Tony Mitchell, Brinker Simpson & Company, Certified Public Accountants. We offer comprehensive financial compliance and tax services. As Philadelphia's leading tax and advisory firm, we let our clients say it best.
Tony and his team at Brinker Simpson provided the expertise of a large accounting firm, but didn't forget their small business roots.
Brinker Simpson has a clear business vision that looks beyond spreadsheets and numbers and sees opportunities.
At Brinker Simpson, firm relationships build success.
All right, Tom, we're going to talk about the wins and losses, and we have an equal amount to talk about as the Soul are 8-8. So the win, what have you noticed has been kind of a consistent thing in the wins that the Soul have had?
I think the big thing is the quarterback play, at least for me, stands out as far as Dan's ability. And it's not like he's playing bad in the losses. It's just that Dan takes it that extra step and plays on a different level than any other quarterback in the league. And when he's done that, he's had games where he's really shined. And then obviously games like the Iowa game where we really stood out and came together as a team, where it was defense, it was special teams, and the play on offense. We didn't need the offense as much.
And I want to bring in head coach Clint Dolezel again. Tom just said something really amusing to me as an Arena fan. You didn't really need the offense that much as you know, an offensive guy and offensive coach. Is that a good thing for you when your defense just plays so well, you don't have to rely on your offense to do that much?
Yeah, well, I don't know about that much, but, you know, that's the difference in close games and blowouts for us. You know, when we put somebody, you know, out, it's because all three phases are playing well. Defense actually had 2 scores in that game, in the Iowa game late, to really make it a really, you know, big blowout. But, you know, I think we scored in every drive in that game. So, you know, when that's happening and the special teams are playing well, we're going to have blowouts.
Can you talk a little bit about the connection? Because when it's working well, it's a beautiful thing to watch between Dan Radabaugh and Tiger Jones. Just when they're in sync, what they have going on.
Well, and they're in sync a lot. I mean, because they've played together for, 4 years now, so that makes a big difference. When they're comfortable with each other, they know where each other's going to go. Even some of the subtleties that Tiger does, that's not, you know, in the script. You know, sometimes the defense doesn't always give you, you know, what you want, and you have to ad lib a little bit, and they do a good job of communicating and be on the same page. So, you know, that's a big factor for where our offense goes.
A lot of the credit also goes to the guys up front. Talk a little bit about your offensive line now, how well they've played this year for you.
I mean, that's unreal. I've never had this many offensive linemen that I have to choose from. Usually you got 2.5 to sometimes 3, you know, good offensive line. We got 5 that we had to choose from, you know, with the exception of losing Brendan Cavallo, you know, in the 3rd game of the season, you know, who's all arena center. You know, Jason Holman stepped in and done a great job for us at that position. And that's, you know, you're talking about not getting enough credit. That guy's done a great job for us all year long.
Well, now I'm going to go into a segment of the show that I don't think any of us really want to relive, and that has been the losses, because there have been some hard.
I'll leave right now.
Tom's leaving. I'm losing Clint. I'll be doing the rest of the show by myself. But you know, a couple of these that we're watching right here. Just talk a little bit about going through those, what it was like.
Well, I know that a lot of the coaches say character building kind of losses, but it got to the point there in the season. It's like, okay, we got this. we understand the character building and that kind of thing. But I think give a lot of credit to the coaching staff.
Clint, what was it that, you know, after maybe the 4th or 5th one, what were you saying to your team after those? Like, did somebody walk under a ladder, or, you know, a black cat cross in front of them? Did you start to just kind of lose your mind a little bit?
Yeah, you have to. It's a fine line what you say in front of the players, because they easily can buy into, you know, when you get in those situations, to here we go again. So, and we've got enough veterans on the team that not to affect us as much as you would think. You know, we won our last 2 games, and we've been in similar situations like that in those last 2 games. But, you know, we're able to step, you know, past those points and go ahead and win them. You know, I've never been a part of anything like it, honestly, with the injuries and the way we've lost some of the games playing or coaching. It's been a frustrating season. I've probably lost 10 years of my life on it. I know I added another 50 gray hairs in my head for sure. So, yeah, I'd be just fine with the here on out. We go ahead and win them by a hefty margin.
All right, I want to thank head coach Clint Dolezel for joining us on Soul Insider. And the Soul return home on Sunday, July 20th for Fan Appreciation Night. There will be a Foods Galore food drive. Bring your non-perishable food items to the game on the 20th. All collections will be donated to the Food Bank of South Jersey. Get your tickets now by calling 888-789-SOUL or go to PhiladelphiaSoul.com. After the break, Tom and I will take a look at the playoff possibilities for the Soul when we return to the Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore.
Bradford White water heaters, American made, American owned, built to be the best. Why would you buy any other brand? Visit BradfordWhite.com to find a contractor near you.
Scott, he do a great job for us, whether it be, you know, the steak meat, the lobster, everything is our own brand. It's a testimonial to Foods Galore.
Service is what's made our company. Loyalty, reliability, honesty. Your growth was one of the main reasons why I evolved in the business.
People look at Chicky and Pete's as a success story, but it's actually your success story. It works just like a marriage, because I still have my wife and I still have you.
Soul fans, here's your chance to win the ultimate tailgate prize package. The Soul and your neighborhood Walgreens has your chance to win. Every month, you can win a 50-inch flat-screen TV, Soul tailgate grill, table, chairs, and coolers. Plus, you and 10 of your friends get to go to a Soul game VIP style in an all-you-can-eat club box. Get to Walgreens now and visit the Soul Zone. A new winner is selected every month. Brought to you in part by Canada Dry, Smart Water, Good Health Natural, Utz, Red Bull, Stop Pain, Coca-Cola, and Peanut Chews. No purchase necessary. Please see website for complete rules and regulations.
Welcome back to the Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore. Tom, okay, this is when it gets to my favorite part of the season, and that's when you need, pen, paper, calculator, and abacus, to try to figure out if the Soul are going to get in. Now, Orlando played on Monday night. They won, so they're 9-7, and the Soul are 8-8. How did the Soul? What did they have to do? What did the Soul have to do?
Well,
basically?
the easiest way is to win out for us.
Yeah.
I mean that takes care of a lot of problems and having to worry about other teams doing what they need to do. But obviously, we need to get one win better than Tampa because they hold the tiebreaker against us. Okay. Or to at least tie Orlando.
Because you have the tiebreaker.
Because we have the tiebreaker with them. Okay. But in that case, they would have to lose out, and Tampa would have to win out so that they become the division champ.
What do you think is, the mindset of the play? They really had to fight to get to 8-8. We've already talked about the really tough losses, but they're already, because of those awful, excruciating, they're like a battle playoff tested team already.
Well, even the last two games, really, in practice, you saw the intensity, the focus during the week of practice leading up to the last two games has been playoff. It's been a playoff atmosphere for the last 2 weeks here, and staying in that mindset. The question is, coming off the bye week, has there been too much relaxing? Are they focused? I like to think, and since we haven't practiced yet this week, that momentum will carry over and go right into the playoffs.
All right, he is Soul General Manager Tom Goodhines, and what he said to me off the air, he won't say on the air, nobody wants to play the Soul in the playoffs.
Absolutely
He's
not.
whispered
No,
that.
I'll say that right. I'll say that on the air.
There you go. I like that.
I could say that especially with Cleveland, because those close games, I bet you they don't want to see us.
No, not at all. He's Tom Goodhines, our guest on Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore. Don't forget, the push for the playoffs begins Sunday, July 20th. Soul are back at the Wells Fargo Center. It is a must-win game for the Soul, as well as Fan Appreciation Night, with a Soul team poster giveaway to the first 3,000, T-shirt giveaway to the first 5,000, and prizes given out all night long. All presented by Parks Casino. Get your tickets now by calling 888-789-SOUL or go to PhiladelphiaSoul.com. Thanks for joining us, as always, on the Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore. And don't forget, this Sunday, 4 p.m., Food Drive, being organized by Foods Galore at the Soul Game.
The Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore, is sponsored by Pro Systems Audio, one of Philadelphia's finest audio, video, and lighting contracting firms. By Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy. And by the Judge Group and Judge Unified Communications, designing, developing, deploying, and managing advanced technologies for clients across the globe.